Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Thursday.
Gonna be a great time once we actually get to it. Me and my partner, we didn't have any summer plans for this year, like nothing. Other than patio party tomorrow as part of the YMM Food Festival in support of Waypoints, for instance. But we changed that. We figured it out. We had been focused on a big trip that we are going to be taking early next year to get to an entirely different spot on the globe. But between needing to save up for that and all the other factors that get into it, my girlfriend and I, we just weren't focusing on the next couple of months ahead. Just wasn't on our radar, And then suddenly, as soon as we did get the big trip lined up, our brains went, oh, okay, well, that's fun. That's for 2026. What about now? What are we doing now? And so we had to figure out getting out of Dodge at least for a weekend, lest the cabin fever set in. So now we're going to a cabin. We're going to a somewhat short notice Lake Town rental, where we can live on the beach during the day, barbecue on the deck at night. So fingers crossed. Please, I'm asking, cross your fingers for me. Either we're going to have a great time, have a little vacation away, or I'll be bringing back some stories for you.
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Though they don't have a ticket, it's not stopping a lot of fans of Oasis from trying to catch the shows with the Live 95 reunion tour. There's a hill nearby Heaton Park, apparently, that has been dubbed Gallagher Hill, where people are gathering and climbing the newly installed fences around the area. It's not deterring them whatsoever. Tens of thousands of people are still going to be attending the festival Tomorrowland in Belgium, despite the fact that 2 days before the start of the festival, the main stage burned down, caught alight, and was an absolutely horrific scene. Apparently there were 1,000 employees that were on site at the time. This is a huge, huge festival, but no injuries at this time. Big question mark as to whether the festival would continue. I guess it is, as literally up to 70,000 people are still expected to come on by. And Jane's Addiction now in legal battle with each other. This is stemming from a fight that erupted on stage just last year, just really after, like moments after it felt like the band had reunited once again, and Perry Farrell threw a punch at Dave Navarro while on stage. This caused the immediate stoppage of not only that show, the rest of the tour, and the plans for the band to even move forward. And of course, that meant that they sued Perry Farrell. Now he's counter-suing them. Stay tuned for more.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Leave your partner for $1 million? Would you do it? Would you do it for a Klondike bar? There's apparently a lot of people that would. Weird new study finds story where a Canadian casino website, Gamblizzard, did a survey, but they asked Americans what they were thinking about the pursuit of wealth. Things like, would you enter a real-life Squid Game for a shot at $33 million, to which 46% of people said, oh, heck yeah. Despite the fact that 99.8% of the people who do play that game die in the show. Spoiler alert. But, a lot of people would leave their partner for $1 million. Apparently 43% of the respondents agreed to that. Makes me question, though, how many people would do it for like 100? Do they just want to leave them regardless of the cash? And then another follow-up question, do you split the cash because you're splitting up? How does that work? But $1 million is pretty tempting in any situation. This would ultimately be a far less interesting plot for an indecent proposal movie, though. It would be a much shorter one. Woody Harrelson would have just left the bar and booked a plane ticket. Roll the credits. That's it. As you drive around on your usual kind of commute, your usual routes, you notice things. It's the repetition that makes the differences stand out. But there's some things that have kind of become the standard, the norm. You see them a lot as you're driving around. I'm not on every road for sure, but the ones that I'm on, I've noticed a few things like, of course, there's the pavers in the middle of Confederation Way that are making that little triangle, little tent. Like, somebody fix it! Oh, it bugs me so much. Somebody has to change that. There's the potholes that you have to memorize lest you ruin the suspension of your vehicle. But then there's also a little thing right on Highway 63, right at the corner of Hardin Street there, and it's just on the Meridian. It's a little, shall we call it a decorative vase that somebody has misplaced. It looks like it might be broken, I don't know, but just also sitting there, like kind of standing upright. And I question the story behind how that happened so much. I want to know the details. I never will. None of us will ever get the actual background noise, but still, if you are missing a decorative vase, that might be yours along Highway 63. And I think it's a little worse for wears.
Friday.
Iggy Pop is in the news because his song Punk Rocker is in the end credits of the new Superman movie. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler, but a very delightful movie in general, and Iggy Pop is delighted by the inclusion, saying that he always thought it had soul, but adding that Superman is the best friend you could have. Fans are suspecting something is happening with Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham have been posting some mysterious Instagram posts talking like things that say, and if you go forward, written out on in marker. What does that mean? Nobody really knows for sure, but you know what? Even Mick Fleetwood has started to get in on the fun. No word about an official new album, new music release, any live thing going on. Stay tuned for more. Maybe. Just a mystery at this point. Chris Martin leaving things not so mysterious at the Coldplay concert that has gone ultra-viral recently after the couple who are likely to be having an affair in their eyes on the Jumbotron instantly recognizes, well, Chris Martin joking that, oh, we probably have some shy people or they're up to no good. And then he added later on saying, oh, no, I hope we didn't do something bad. No, Chris, I don't think it was you doing anything wrong that night. Caught cheating at a Coldplay concert. This has become such a huge story for like less than 10 seconds of video. If you don't know the story by now, two apparently married to other people were caught on the Jumbotron at a Coldplay concert. They do a regular thing where they'll feature some interesting people in the crowd. Sometimes it's another famous person. Recently, Celine Dion was shown on there, or just interesting people with an interesting story. And then Chris Martin will riff on that, literally improvise some piano stuff and sing about them. But then they cut to a couple of people who clearly didn't want to be on that Jumbotron. What a way for the spouses to find out, you know? Should have seen the red flags, but I guess they were all yellow. We got to keep talking about the Coldplay concert debacle, the situation where these two people were obviously not supposed to be seen together like that. It's like seeing when a dog has done something bad. You know what I mean? And they're like, did you wreck the couch? Did you pull out the stuffing from the couch cushion? And they got that look on their face. Teeth are kind of bared a little bit. Their eyes are closed, are shaking. It's just pure guilt on their face. And that's why this moment has gone viral. Had they just straight-faced it, nobody would have noticed. Nobody would have noticed the thing. But she gets shock face as soon as the Jumbotron hits her and they realize that the entire audience is seeing them, and she spins around while he just tries to elevator move down out of sight behind a glass barrier. Not the smoothest of moves. Even Chris Martin joked that either they were having an affair or they were just very shy people. And then there's even a third party up on the railing beside this shy couple. Judging by her face, she knows everything. But we don't really know all that much. But as it turns out, people have found out he's the CEO of a tech company, and she is the freshly hired head of the same company's HR. Pretty sure that's against some kind of policy, guys. The internet has eaten it up, making this moment go ultra viral. A lot of exposure for the band, too. Coldplay, I mean, they haven't released a new song in a while, but they sure put out 2 singles this week.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.